Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
This is when he told me this, I lost.
And it was really weird because I went into this movie thinking like, you know, this is going to be like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of like stop motion thing. And then you have a scene where two snails have sex with each other in a jar.
Scheduling is like top 5 things we talk about.
And the viewers love it.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to hit the high note when I go like the conductor pose.
102. No, this is to hold the note, not to do a high note. Do you know what you're talking about?
Look, the conductor, they just swing their arms around and they like go high when I lift my arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
I think you're making this up, Aiden.
I don't think
I've seen Whiplash.
I don't think you took
he just moves it around randomly.
I don't think you were in band for 5 years.
Whiplash, so he knows
you would be
music.
a band kid.
Aiden, I've seen Whiplash 5 times, so that counteracts your 5 years of band practice.
Hey.
I don't think that's right.
Aiden.
I know everything about drumming.
Aiden, I watched Amadeus, so I basically know Mozart.
Did he rock you?
Anyway, guys, I missed 101, but...
Okay, let's get into the big thing.
Guys, it's 47 degrees.
It's 102.
Oh, yeah, we
episode.
do need to do the weather.
But
It
guys,
is 102.
For 101, I missed the opportunity to have gone this. 101. All right.
Oh, yo.
It doesn't work.
Guys, it's 46 degrees.
You can't do 2 with your fingers very well.
Oh, well,
All right, so anyway, it's 27 degrees Fahrenheit. in Belgrade
That's
right
201.
43.
now.
I don't know why I
27.
swapped my...
Okay, but guys, let's talk about the big news in the room. The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight.
No.
Me and Aiden watched it in a Chipotle together.
It was
So
live.
it counts as Celsius Pod material.
I watched
Beck.
Beck.
Aiden, what did you think of it?
I watched it too.
Beck did just randomly show up this weekend, and so we decided to watch the Jake Paul fight in a Chipotle. That was the entire plan.
So
and nothing
essentially,
else.
the entire fight was scripted.
Exactly.
And that's basically all you need to know.
I don't think that's true.
It was very boring.
Pretty obviously that it was scripted.
How? What? He's an old fucking guy.
Bro, the guy
People
is
have
old.
been
dissecting this fight.
Okay,
There were
he's also the best boxer ever.
He's a
moments.
dinosaur.
There
He's
were
a dinosaur.
4 distinct moments when Mike Tyson moved in for a punch, started moving, and then stopped because
And he's fucking old.
No, he was halfway through a punch. He just didn't punch through because he was fucking rigged.
Ew, why would he?
This is why he's also a Trump
Why would-
supporter.
No. Terrible. My goat is
guys-
Okay,
alive.
but the thing about
The
thing about the fight,
Yeah,
I watched
get
it
into
on Friday night, and I was like, what a waste of time. The first 2 rounds were interesting, but then it was just like, it
Yeah,
lost.
because they were actually moving. They had energy.
Yeah,
And
but
no-
the Hawk Tua girl was there.
Was she?
She was
I
in the
saw
front
that-
row
No, you
seat.
could tell so much that it was a Netflix-sponsored fight because they just randomly cut to like, guys, it's the people from Cobra Kai.
It's the
Cobra
people-
Kai's on Netflix.
It's Squid Game.
The fight before was way more interesting than the fight.
Yeah, no, me and Aiden were in a movie for that fight, so we couldn't watch it. But
Yeah.
I heard it was really good.
But no, it's just like a terrible, boring fight. Like, none of this needs to happen. But the thing is, Jake Paul was screwed no matter what the outcome was. Because A, you lose to
Yeah.
a fucking old guy, or B, you beat up an old guy.
Oh my god, this fucking guy beating up an old guy.
I was so convinced the entire time that it was like Mike Tyson is just wearing him out. He's going slow. Then he's gonna pull out a fucking ringer headshot TKO.
No, he was fucking Joe Biden, and he was like off balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
although
but-
Jake Paul was bleeding after the second round.
And also, Mike Tyson like had like life-saving surgery like a couple months ago. So like, I feel like that's an excuse for not playing that well.
But yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson in his prime destroys Jake Paul. Prime,
yeah.
But this, I
No,
mean,
Jake Paul's dead.
what?
Yeah, he
Like the
died 2
drunk.
years ago. You didn't know?
Who? What?
I think there's somebody hanging there.
But it was just the terrible, awful fight.
Yeah.
Guys, it didn't buffer for you. It didn't.
I don't know.
It didn't buffer for me.
Mine didn't buffer
It
either.
buffered for us.
Yeah,
It
but
did
we
buffer
were
for
It's
us.
like we're in a Chipotle.
But we were in a Chipotle, so I'm not gonna chalk it up to Netflix on that part. But I know people were having buffering problem. It's almost like Netflix isn't made for streaming.
That's crazy.
I wish the
guys-
Paul fight was on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah. But guys, speaking of Mike Tyson,
You watched The Hangover.
I did watch The Hangover, and it has Mike Tyson in it.
It also adds Ed Helms and Zach Galifianakis.
Guys, before we get into this,
Galifianakis.
the countdown for Paul versus Tyson is on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay, great.
It's basically the highest rating is half a star.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm not
makes sense.
surprised.
Yeah.
So Beck, this was your first time watching The Hangover, right?
It was my first time watching The Hangover, and I thought it was really funny.
I fucking love The Hangover because The Hangover falls into my very specific criteria of movie where
Two people have an emotional conversation while staring out over a body of water, right?
two like group of people have to solve the mystery, but it's also funny and there's at least one really drunk guy.
Yeah, and they need to find a car, right?
Which is, it's kind of a shame that the second one just copies the exact first one.
Is it literally the same thing? I
It's
haven't
basically
seen the
the
other
same.
one.
It's
I've only seen
basically
the first one.
I've seen all three. The first one is definitely the best one. Maybe the third one after, but actually, it's insane because guess what? These movies, Beck, who they directed by?
The Todd Phillips guy, Joker.
Yeah.
The Joker.
Better than Joker
And-
2, The Hangover?
Yes, I would definitely say it's better than Joker 2.
Is The Hangover
That's a very low bar.
is part 2? Is it like the same? Like part 2 and 3? Is it like Todd goes missing again? Both time.
No, I think it's someone else the second time, or it might be actually I think it is Todd the second time.
It's Todd the second time again.
Guys, how did we lose him again?
But the third one is just like weird random bullshit.
Yeah, I
mean, I do want to watch the other ones.
Can I watch them with you? Like when you watch
Yeah,
them?
me and Aiden can watch them together.
Because I really like the first movie. I
Just
think
like we can watch Arcane together.
wow. We probably can.
I'm holding back so hard not to talk about how good this show is. Because Nicola and Aiden have not watched Peak Fiction. It's
I mean, it's
crazy.
League of Legends.
But I mean, I saw The Hangover. That's like basically Peak Fiction.
Yeah.
That is not Arcane.
It's like basically Peak Fiction though.
Beck, as someone who's never seen Arcane, I would pick The Hangover every day.
I would also pick The Hangover every day.
Yeah.
As someone
I
who's
would
never
also
seen
pick
the other
The
film,
Hangover.
I mean, I like the film I've seen.
I would also pick The Hangover.
Oh,
Okay, this just...
But he's picking it just for the name and no other reason.
Yeah, because I'm an
Okay, yeah,
alcoholic.
this is something that I think just brings me into a conversation about voting systems. I was just
political.
thinking about like, we're in like award seasons, and I'm just like,
Now we're
like,
talking about the game.
especially like I'm
Awards.
talking about the Game Awards. I mean, nominations came out. I don't want to get specifically into them because I haven't voted yet. But what pisses me off, the same problem with the Oscars. It's like it's not like fan voted. It's like you have a random group of like critics. Yeah, the Academy, and that they vote on it. And I'm like, I feel like if you have seen all the films in the category, your vote should count towards it. Like this, as a normal person, I feel like my vote should count.
Hey, Beck.
Yeah?
Do you want to know how they choose the animated films?
I know, anyone can.
Anyone can. You don't have to have seen any of them.
Hey, Beck.
That is stupid, yeah?
Hey, Beck, you know how they choose the president? Not with the popular
What?
vote. Not with the popular vote, with the electoral college.
Okay, yeah. That's also stupid. I feel like it should
Oh,
just
no,
be
that's-
like...
if the electoral college works
if
for them
you've
small
seen
states,
all
just
the
saying.
films, you have as much you have the same like value of your opinion as like a movie director.
And
I
that's
feel like
why I'm
the
watching
same.
all the movies.
I mean, I do think this is gonna be the first year where I'm gonna actually like know. No, I feel like last year I knew all of them.
Guys, we need like
I missed a lot last year. That's
we need
why.
a social
yeah.
justice of different videos thinking Beck discovers voting is bad sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, guys, the series Beck discovers climate change.
Beck
Beck discovers sexism.
No, Beck discovers porn.
Beck discovers poverty.
Beck discovers racism. Speaking of racism,
I love racism.
Beck becomes a
I watched
racist.
Get Out.
You watched Get Out. So Beck.
I
That's
did
a
watch
very
Get
good
Out.
film.
Overrated or
I actually
underrated?
also just watched it. Well, not just watched it, but I
Yeah.
watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I know you did talk about it on the pod, and then I had to watch it for a class,
Yeah,
So I
just like how
watched
I
it.
also had to watch it for a class.
and I was like, "Wow, this is a good movie." Yeah. I mean, I don't see it as this like 10 out of 10 masterpiece that everyone paints it as, but I think it is really cool. It's really interesting. I fucking love the TSA agent. That guy's my goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, good
What
movie.
do you think about the fact that the ending might have been different, where instead of the TSA agent finding him, it was just
He goes to jail.
he goes to jail.
Just the
Or
police.
it stops at the police car. It ends where the police car shows up.
I mean, I literally was like, when I was watching that, I jumped up from the couch. I'm like, dude, this looks so bad for him. He's so fucked. But then when the TSA agent came out, like, holy shit, my fucking goat.
But he
saved the movie.
There is an alternate ending where he actually goes to prison, and like the TSA visits him in prison, and that's how it ends.
I like the better ending. It's more hopeful.
Yeah, it is more hopeful.
Okay, other solo thing I watched. I rewatched Avengers Infinity War.
Is it-
which I believe
Is the best
the best
Avengers film?
MCU movie.
Yeah, I agree too.
True. It's the best
I
MCU
agree.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was debating with
there's like
At least top 3.
Yeah.
there's so many amazing jokes and like bits. I'm like, wow, this movie is like so good.
I ain't gonna
And it's
lie,
made me
I don't
keep
really
thinking-
watch Infinity War for the jokes and bits. I watch it for Thanos, but sure,
Thanos.
whatever you say.
I think.
A movie.
Well, I mean, I think that this movie does like one of the best jobs of being, hey, we're all together in this universe, all against this bad guy.
Yeah.
I'd say mine
Yeah.
is like the Guardians. Every character is like well represented in the movie.
I would say,
Yeah.
you get some more than an Endgame so for some like other characters. But
Yeah.
I was
Endgame is
debating with,
weaker in that because you don't get a lot of like Rhodey or Nebula or
Yeah.
even like you don't even get much Hawkeye in
Yeah.
Endgame. And he's not even in Infinity War. Like he's supposed to catch up in
Yeah.
that one and just fucking doesn't.
yeah. No, it's like I was debating with some friends, like they think Endgame was better than Infinity War. That's not true in the
that's
slightest.
crazy.
It's a fine movie,
No,
Endgame,
The
but
last like 45 minutes of Endgame is some of the peakest MCU.
Yeah.
I think the final fight is some good ass shit. But I think that
yeah.
Infinity War is stronger
It's a
overall
stronger movie,
because
yeah.
of how every single group of people all at the same time are all doing these things to stop Thanos.
Yeah, for me, I like Endgame is a lot bigger, but it also means like everything is kind of like meshed together. I feel like you have a lot like clearer structure in Infinity War. Like on the Battle on Titan, it's all about just like holding him down and then beating him, and then in Wakanda, it's all about just like getting them as they're going through the barrier. It's like a very clear objectives in each fight, and you can follow it very well.
yeah.
And each character kind of gets a moment to shine. It's not just like throwing every single person.
Exactly, yeah. One thing I
And-
find really cool is like
Yeah.
wait, I just sent a video. It's like the snap in real time. So
Oh,
play
yeah,
that
no,
video.
I've seen that.
It's
That's
so
really cool.
fucking good. It like is so it makes the it makes it way stronger, I think, in my opinion. Like to see like this is how it's like affecting the entire universe at the same time, and I think it's really strong.
I'm gonna say this about Infinity War. It makes Thanos seem like such a threat to this universe. Like he feels like the best villain ever. Where in Endgame, they kind of just like they write down his character so significantly.
Yeah.
Where it's all like he becomes like a 2-dimensional guy, like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of this whole planet, start fresh. When here he actually has like reasoning and rhyme and a plan.
That's why people say that's why he lost, is because he deviated from his plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it feels it feels like a character was like, oh, he's definitely the hero of his own story. And I love when the villain's like that.
I think another really good villain, I mean, is Ultron from What If.
I love that.
Oh yeah, he is a
Ultron.
really good villain.
He's just so strong.
He's so terrifying.
And scary because
He realizes that's a multiverse, and then he kills Thanos.
Yeah, he kills Thanos super fast, gets the Infinity Stones, and then is just fucked from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The newest season of What If did get announced.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, season 3.
I did see that.
How have they not done What If the other half survived? How did they not fucking do that?
I thought
Is
they
it-
did
is
do
that
that for
is
this
that
I
season.
think they're
planned for
trying to do
next
that as the
season?
finale.
Season 3 is the last season, and I bet it's not because Captain Carter and Kohiri are both in the fucking trailer.
I'm sick of Captain Carter in this fucking.
No, I
Captain
could've
Carter
sworn
was cool in the first season, and then
That is like the most industry planned.
and then she was
hero, I swear.
oversaturated in the second. I like Kohiri, and I like Stray Supreme. I thought he was really cool, and then they fucking tarnished him at the end of season 2 by making him the twist villain. Just leave him as the self-sacrifice that he was. That was weird.
Yeah, what's annoying about What If is like, at least for the second season, like they try to make it like it's supposed to be each episode is supposed to be its own thing, but now they're like trying to bring it together in a weird way.
Yeah,
I mean, it was cool at the end, like the first season, at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know that was going to happen. And then they did it. And then it was like, that's crazy. That's awesome. And then, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited though. I like What If a lot. I know that people don't like the animation style all too much, but
I liked it.
I think it's good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing in the world.
All right, well, that's all my singles.
I have I have two things, I guess, that I watched. One, Marvel Studios assembled the making of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, I do like those.
Yeah, I
this one good?
haven't watched any of the other ones actually, so I don't really.
I like the Loki one. That was cool.
Yeah, I should watch the other ones because I did like it, but it's very much like you could tell how much people wanted to be working on this film. Like everyone was having a good time, and it showed a lot of like behind the scenes for the sets and stuff, and like it's just like all practical sets and shit. There's like so little CG. It was just, everything's done in person, and everyone was there just having a good time.
But
And
did you know that good CGI might just be no CGI might just be invisible CGI?
oh
That's crazy. Imagine if we had a 4-part YouTube video that Nicola kept bringing up.
And you guys have still not watched, even though it's goated.
Yeah, I watched like the first 10 minutes.
So true. That's the real way to watch shit. But like
Yeah.
everyone involved in the project like seemed to be having like the greatest time of their life. Like even like Wesley Snipes. You would think he doesn't want to be there, but he was like, "Oh, I'm glad to be back as Blade. It's pretty cool. I like the suit. It's not as shiny." And and like fucking what's his face?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. He was like, "I'm so glad to be here." He was just like smiling in his costume. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like a lot. It was cool.
Is that your favorite movie of the year?
I think it's still SNL.
Yeah, you still have Saturday Night as number one.
Yeah, although I should do some rewatches of my top 3. Really determine whether or not they should be up there. But speaking of top 3, I did rewatch Who Framed Roger Rabbit this week. But
He did.
But this time, I watched the 35 millimeter version of it. So, but it was like I had found a download on it a while ago, and I just forgot to watch it. And then I was bored because nobody was available to play video games.
Wow.
So I watched my
me.
favorite movie. You were asleep.
Okay, yeah, but to be fair, I am 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
What time was this?
You weren't available.
Why wasn't I? When was this?
The 14th.
14th.
We're not talking about scheduling again, guys. Move on.
Anyway,
No, guys, the audience loves when we talk about scheduling.
scheduling
It's
is
amazing.
like top 5 things we talk about.
And the viewers love it.
Yeah, I know.
They love
when
how
we do
organized
all
we
our
are.
podcast planning live, it's great.
It's amazing content.
It lets people know
We're real people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's behind the scenes.
This is our own Avengers
Some people
Assemble.
have to pay Patreon for this stuff, and we hand it out for free.
Yeah, but we gotta
free.
start charging for this shit.
Yeah. Go to our Patreon. We have Nicholas Feet and more scheduling.
That actually would get people to join. We should
It's
just sell it all
it's
of our
just
feet on
20 minutes of
Feetfinder.
us scheduling. Like, okay, so Thursday.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not there.
You know we've
Thursday.
made it once we're on
We always
Feetfinder.
forget to record 20 minutes after the pod, and we just talk about our scheduling stuff. So
Yeah.
We gotta
if you
record
guys want
that
to get
shit.
that, that's the Patreon cut.
That's
Anyway,
premium.
yeah. Anyway, I rewatched it on 35 millimeters. Besides the fact that the audio was kind of crap and the reel kept skipping a couple times, and it had green streaks on it. It was so good. Like if I rewatch the movie, I'll probably rewatch it this way again. Just because it looked so good. Just like the color grading and the shadows and all that good shit was
We love 35
Oh,
millimeter
filmmakers,
film. We should watch
sir.
it in Interstellar when it comes out December. Re-released.
Is that one?
We are. If you're here, and
I will
all
be
of us
here
are
in
we're
December. I'm
definitely
here
going.
all of December. I'm just not here Thanksgiving.
Great. Well, scheduling.
Yeah.
More
But yeah.
scheduling.
But yeah, I think I will send you guys the link if you guys want to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
I
it's
love
good.
pirating Roger Rabbit.
Send a bunch of screenshots of it.
You did.
You guys probably saw them and you saw how awesome it looked. It was like the original cut, so it does have the Jessica Rabbit panty shots and the Betty Boop nip slip.
So
like,
we know why you actually wanted to watch it in 35 millimeter.
Because we all know he's the one that's famously.
gooning.
Yeah. They call him the Goon Commander.
All right.
They do in fact call him the Goon Commander.
Hurry, what did you watch?
What did I watch, gang? Let's see.
Yeah, give us the gang rundown.
The gang. I've been writing my Sunny step script, and it's
nice.
coming along pretty nicely. Charlie is a detective. I watched Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Uri. I wanna ask you a question since you're like a bigger you're deeper into like your film knowledge than me.
Yeah.
What's the difference between what's the difference between a spec script and a fan fiction?
I guess that's a pretty interesting depiction. I guess a spec script is a fan fiction. Is a fan fiction script or just a fan fiction?
Imagine it's a fan fiction in script format.
I guess that would be the same thing then. Interesting.
Oh, Uri is just writing
So
fan
Uri
fiction.
writes fan fiction is what I'm hearing. By his own admission. Wow.
Uri is writing yaoi fan fiction?
Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, he
Okay.
basically did. Did you read the script?
No, but school sanctioned fan fiction, so it's fine.
Okay.
Industry regulated fan fiction.
It is. I just think it's really funny that spec strips exist, and people are like, have you read my spec strip? And it's so much of it. So it's like, hey, can you read my fan fiction?
Hey, can you read my fan fiction? Please. I watched Tommy Boy. We're all familiar with the great late Chris Farley. I'm assuming Beck. Chris Farley.
No,
right?
I have no.
You don't know Chris Farley?
I'm so sorry.
You don't know Chris Farley?
I don't.
Bro, he was on SNL.
Matt Foley?
Oh. I swear. Oh, wait, I know Matt Foley.
Anyway, so in the period of the 90s and the 80s, he was in a lot of films with David Spade. They were a pretty good comedic duo. Slender Boys was Tommy Boy. It's a very stupid movie, but it's pretty fun. It's like a lot of the Chris Farley movies are just kind of dumb comedies. But essentially in this movie is like his dad dies and his new wife that he just got married to, he wants to take over wants to sell his company so she could get stocks, money from the stock shares. But he's trying to save the company, so he goes door to door being a salesman to they're a paper company, I think, and they're selling paper, and they want to make as many sales as they can to save the company, and so it's a pretty kind of fighting against evil to save the company. It's a pretty classic kind of story. We've seen this before, saving the town, saving the village. He's the hero has to go and do their own journey. So kind of a classic sort of one of those stories. And along the way, the protagonists become friends. And they're an odd couple, but then they become friends. It's a pretty classic kind of story, but it's a nice kind of dumb comedy movie. So I suggested, if you're Aiden, you've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen it. I saw it a long time ago. I don't remember too much of it, but I remember liking it. I remember the deer scene. The deer scene is really good. And then the fat guy in a little coat scene. Yeah. I also remember that.
That's pretty funny because a lot of Chris's humor comes from he's one of the best, I think, physical comedians ever. He's he uses his weight so well. It's more than just being a fat guy falls down. He's really able to sort of use it for comedic prowess.
The fat guy that falls down, but in a way that makes it funnier than if it was just a regular fat guy falling down.
Yeah. He's oh, and then falls or something. He's very good at spasms and twitches. So I suggest that if you want a really kind of dumb comedy. Have you guys seen Over the Hedge?
I have never, but I know.
A long time ago, I have seen Over the Hedge.
It's an okay movie. It's we decided it was just available, so we just decided to watch it. And it was really kind of okay. It's it's insane. The cast is insane. The main character is voiced by Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. What the fuck is this cast list? This really is a DreamWorks movie, isn't it?
Yeah. And
my God, yeah.
So raccoon steals food from a bear, but then bear catches him, so he needs to bring food back by midnight, and he finds a local village of other animals, and he helps them steal food from humans, and he's he helps them, they decide to like him, and he realizing, oh, maybe I shouldn't trick these people. They're my family now. But he decides to, end up leaving them and tricking them, and they get caught by the vet and by exterminator, I guess. And then he decides to, you know what?
Doesn't he have a weird ass name? The Verminator. Yeah.
The Verminator, yes. And and then he saves his pals at the end of the day. It's it's not DreamWorks at its best, but it's an okay movie. That's it. There's nothing really that much going for it. It's 3 stars, I would say. Very average.
It has a really good speedster. The squirrel.
Oh yeah, the squirrel that's pretty funny. But yeah, it's if you want a nice little comedy to watch with your kids. I know none of you have children, but actually Beck's a father.
Yeah, I know. Father of 2, both proud of my little boys.
Yeah.
Beck Jr. and
bald.
Beck Jr. and Beck the Third. He named them like that. It's kind of weird. They call him BJ. Unfortunately.
Oh, he loves his little BJs.
Yeah. Sorry, Beck. What was that? Bring up your hand.
What? Oh, you mean the tape?
No, like why is your like coat like extending out? Like you gotta cover them fully.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's two
two
coats
of
on top
them.
of each other. One significantly older than the other.
Yeah. I have 3 now, and my mom just bought me a 4th. So
Okay, so now we get into like Uri movie time.
okay, yeah.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Didn't this win like an Oscar one year?
Sam Rockwell won like Best Supporting Actor.
Okay, I remember seeing something about
I
this.
think Francis
with, like,
McDormand
Oscars.
won. It's by the same guy who made Banshees of Inisherin. And
Oh, nice.
so it's actually an Irish filmmaker, but this place takes place in Missouri. Essentially,
Wait, really?
wow, I know, right?
Yeah.
So I partook in some traffic.
Okay. Did that really get you into the mood of this film? Because it sounds like a very dark film. It does not sound like
It's
a
a
stuck
re-
in traffic
I am
film.
reading the tagline on
Over the
Letterboxd.
Head sounds like a stuck in
I am
traffic
reading
film. This does not.
I'm
I was
reading
also
the
stuck in traffic for Over the Hedge.
Oh my God. I'm reading the tagline for the movie on Letterboxd.
Read the
Here's what it says: raped while dying and still no arrests. How come, Chief Willoughby?
This is an Uri movie.
Yeah, and not one that should be. You should be stuck in traffic.
so I was stuck in traffic and I was fully focused in this movie. I was under my blanket watching this on my iPad. I was like, I haven't had a single thought in like 2 hours. And this was amazing. I was fully focused on the movie. And so essentially the movie is there's this mom and her daughter was raped and killed and her body was burned. Very dark, I know. And so essentially it's sort of like, it's an interesting movie where it's like some mystery movie. Spoilers, by the way. I always suggest watching it. I'm not going to get full spoilers. I think Beck would like it. But, I mean, Beck watched Promising Young Woman, so.
They did.
And it kind of has, I think, I haven't seen it, but it sort of feels like in the same kind of vein. It's about revenge and for like grievances. So essentially there's 3 old billboards outside, if you couldn't tell, there's 3
Missouri.
in Ebbing, Missouri. So there's 3 billboards and like she's driving along the
You're
billboards.
doing what in Missouri?
And so essentially she goes to like the people who own the billboards and she's like, you know what? I want to buy these for the whole month. And then she gives like $5,000. You got to put this up. And then we follow like this Sam Rockwell's character who's like a deputy, and he comes up and it's the way they do it is really interesting where they see the last billboard first. So he's like, it says, how come Chief Willoughby? And like, it's like, how come what? What is this? It's like, get off, stop working on this. And he goes to the next one and then still no arrests. And it's like, what? And then, because the big headline is the first billboard, which just says raped while dying, which is referring to her daughter, you know? And then he comes up and is like, Chief, we have an issue. And then, because it's like saying the chief, because like he hasn't figured out who killed her daughter and she wants to like bring awareness to make sure her daughter's memory isn't lost. But the people don't like her because like she's putting this sign up and Chief Willoughby or something like that has cancer and the town is mad at her because like, why talking to a guy with cancer? And then we follow that and we sort of see the character of Sam Rockwell's character in this movie goes for a transformation where it's like, guys, do you like those movies where like, I like these movies, this sort of trope where it's like, we have the bad guy, but then he does become a good guy in the end. And so we sort of see that plot. It works pretty well for this movie. I don't know where your guys' sorts of favorites types of that. Is there any you guys like?
Of bad guy becoming good guy?
Yeah. Darth Vader obviously is a big one.
He's a good one.
There's a few that is like it likes to see in like a different light, which is really cool. The way they do this is very kind of subtle because he's a piece of shit the whole movie, but then like near the end he does something that kind of changes up his character.
I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Beck, there's probably one in Avatar, the Last Airbender, I assume.
Yeah, Zuko. Yeah, Zuko's really good for that.
But yeah, no,
yeah, that's like one of the best redemption arcs in fiction. So,
but
yeah.
it goes really well. So we sort of see the interplay of sort of how it works, like the town, and like it's a really interesting movie about like sort of how much is too much for revenge, like sort of idea, how much should you continue where it just becomes like you're not really fixing anything because like how much justice can she get if her daughter's already dead, you know? And yeah, so it's a really interesting movie and very, very good. Sam Rockwell did a very good job. And I wasn't completely focused on the movie. I was like, for 2 hours, not a thought went through my mind.
That's what you want.
Let's see. I already talked about, I think I finished the Aaron Hernandez show. Pretty interesting. It was like a biopic about the football player who killed a few people, and that was a biopic. It was an okay biopic, I would say. Ryan Murphy really has a full genre of biopics and true crime biopics, stuff like that. So if you've seen any like the Monsters, Dahmer, all that show, they're all from him. And,
yeah.
Some of them are good. Some of them are less than good. Some of them, they hit the mark. Sometimes they don't hit the mark. This one I would say was pretty good because I don't feel like they over like glamorize the story or over like stylize it them. They is stylized, but in a way that I feel is a little bit at least more respectful, I would say, than some other of his shows. But yeah. That's it for me.
Nicola?
I guess I'll talk about my couple of solo movies.
Question. Did you watch the Dune show?
I have not watched the Dune show.
I
have not watched it.
Yeah, the
It
first
came out-
episode came out. It's the new HBO Sunday show.
I know it came out. I have not watched it. I probably will start watching it this week.
I'll watch
Okay.
it, I think.
Because I want to watch it. No,
But I have not watched it yet.
Aiden doesn't like Dune?
This is shocking.
It's fucking loser, man.
I
Where did I
think
put
he's
my?
the
Oh wait, no, you
number
still
one
haven't
Dune
given me
hater
the
in the
books. We
world.
haven't met up in person yet.
Yeah, I know. But I did get the Twister CD and we played it on the entire drive.
All right, well, I can talk about.
We played it on the entire drive.
I only got two. I only got two movies to talk about because I can't talk about Dan to Dan.
True.
So
At this point, Aiden, just watch or just let Nicola talk about Dan to Dan.
No.
my two movies, starting with, honestly, I think I'm going to start with Eurotrip.
Oh, classic comedy.
Yo.
Very
okay,
classic
this feels like a
comedy.
very Aiden movie.
I was just like, you know what? I know this is a good movie. I haven't watched it, and I'm like, I gotta watch it. It's such a classic.
And Nicola, watch it. It's in his
So-
top 4.
No, it's not. The other one is in my top 4. It's actually, yeah, it's in my top 4. Well, I watched it. I mean, I liked it. I was like, it's a pretty good movie. I would put it, actually, I think,
Guy doesn't
I would put it around.
Guy doesn't know.
Yeah,
Guy
exactly.
doesn't
Like,
know.
it's a good movie. I was trying to rank it around, like, I was trying to look at the other films. I'm trying to see where I'm putting it at. And I'm like, yeah, it's about a 4 stars compared to like the other stuff in my ranking. Because it's a good film, but I wouldn't say it's like 4.5 stars or 5 stars. But like, it's a really funny film. It's really fun to watch. I love all the running bits. This isn't where I parked my car. It's like so funny.
Dude,
Along
where's
with-
my car?
Dude, where's my car?
Along with the running bit of, oh, I'm never gonna drink again, and then they immediately drink after.
Yeah.
Because that's so me. And then also the fucking sexual predator Spanish person.
That guy is so funny. Fred Armisen. Yeah.
Me scusi.
And then like,
And then just all the shenanigans is so funny throughout the film.
yeah,
I
he,
really
like,
enjoyed
he
it. I had a
becomes
fun
the
time
Pope,
watching it.
and that's really funny.
Yeah, he becomes the Pope to the point where even the real Pope is excited.
Damn.
And then, yeah, it's just a really fun movie and I enjoyed watching it. So I enjoyed it. I recommended it to my parents because I knew it would definitely be my parents' style of movie, if not at least my dad's.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your parents' style of movies, guys?
There's lots of tits, so my dad would love it.
Oh yeah.
What's your
You would
parents?
have liked this other movie me and Aiden watched.
Oh yeah. You
I
would
don't know how
not
to
have liked
describe
that
my parents,
movie.
but I mean, my dad grew up watching didn't grow up, but like I grew up always watching my dad watching Game of Thrones.
True.
That's how Nicola
They
learned
was
about
watching Game of
sex.
Thrones. But you also got to know that they don't really know shit about TV. So what's the name of that one? It's like, oh, it's just like Star Wars.
Rebel
was it?
Moon?
Rebel Moon, yeah. They
Oh.
literally watched Rebel Moves and said, it's just like Star Wars. We liked it.
Oh my God. That's such
true.
a bad movie.
Yeah.
Beck, I know
They just
you.
don't
That is truly the
understand that.
horizon
But
of
like they
Star
like
Wars.
Succession. They like those TV shows
Yeah.
mostly. They
Beck-
mostly watch TV shows like that.
I know you're trying to introduce your mom to some shows. How is that kind of comedy? Like you trying to introduce her to the Owl House?
No, we got all the way through it.
You got
Yeah.
To be fair, my dad's favorite movie from memory is A Night at the Roxbury. That's the reason why I had it at my
That's the
so
reason
high.
it was your highest.
Because it was the
Yeah.
first movie I ever watched because my dad watched it with me.
I think my mom is like, my son's a film major. I should try to watch some shows with him. But then I always give her like insane like animated shows she has no interest in.
Becky.
Like I tried showing her Scavenger's Reign and she was like, what the fuck?
I keep trying
Yeah.
to tell my mom to watch Ricky says, only if you watch Peaky Blinders first. As
Oh
if
yeah, no.
that isn't
My mom watched
100
Ricky Stenicki
hours-
and she liked it.
As if Peaky Blinders is not like 100 hours. Stenicki is an hour and a half.
Aiden,
Yeah.
can you only watch things with people when you have like deals with them? Like you're having deals with Beck to watch shit.
And he still doesn't follow his end of the deal.
No, you haven't followed yours either. But my mom,
I'm 4 seasons in, Aiden. You're 3 episodes.
anyways, but
No, for me, I've managed to perfectly capture what I know my mom and what my dad can watch together and individually. I've captured it like a science. I know what my dad will like and what my mom will like.
I mean, I keep telling them to also watch Trap, and my mom is like, "Okay, we'll do that at some point." But for Ricky Stenicki, she's only if you watch Peaky Blinders, and I'm not gonna watch Peaky Blinders. Sorry,
Yeah, no,
everyone.
it's very weird to me sometimes because, like, I'll be talking with my mom and I'll be like, yeah, I went to go see A Real Pain. And she's like, oh, I want to see the movie. I'm like, why did you want to see this movie? This does not seem like your kind of movie.
Oh,
Like, she said that and she was currently watching a movie called, like, The Last Noel, which is like a Hallmark Christmas movie on Netflix.
oh yeah.
And I'm like, this is not your style of movie.
Yeah.
so true.
Nicola, what was the other thing you watched?
So the other film I watched, which is unofficially my second favorite movie.
I told you you'd regret it.
Officially,
also
I guess it's
told
my
you
fourth
you'd
movie.
regret
Nicola,
it.
come on.
I don't really regret it. I mean, it's not like I could have. It's not like I could have done anything about it because I had to lock in 3 movies then,
Yeah,
It maybe
true.
then
and I
your
didn't
fourth,
watch it until
Nicola.
the week later.
It could be your
It's
fourth.
his fourth. It's his
Yeah,
fourth.
so it is. It is my fourth.
Okay, what's the top 4 exactly?
So officially, the top 4 is La La Land, Whiplash, Scary Movie, The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I also watched that because I saw Nicola gave it 5 stars. And I'm like,
Unofficially,
I have seen it.
is.
I'm also wanting to watch this movie.
I haven't seen it. I want.
unofficially for me though, it is La La Land, Perks of Being a Wallflower, Whiplash, Scary Movie.
It is literally.
It's not better than
recency
Whiplash.
It's not though. It really isn't. You just haven't watched it. You would not get it. There's a
I
reason I
watched
put it
it.
above Whiplash for me.
I watched it.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Aiden. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say that. I
Yeah,
didn't say
who's-
anything. I just said I haven't seen it yet.
You literally just said it's recency bias, but sure.
Yeah, I mean it is recency bias. Come on.
Well, Nico, put it in your
Whatever you say.
letterbox so you can log it. Put it in.
I don't know. I'm not doing ranking on Letterboxd.
It doesn't rank. It just puts your 4.
Oh well, I put my 5 stars. Yeah.
No, full.
Yeah. Well, I really like that film. It was so impactful. It's so like it covers topics
Very well.
really well. Yeah, it's like a coming to age story, but it does really good at covering topics. And I don't know, I really vibed with it because some of the parts was really relatable to me, and it was
I just want to say,
really sad.
this main
so,
guy, I was so emotionally connected to this dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
it
dude,
was so
I
sad.
need you to
You need to
get with this
understand.
girl.
Dude,
I'm like, it's
Okay.
something I need to happen. It's like
That wasn't my
fucking tearing
focus,
me
but I mean,
apart.
I was so like
Bumble with Emma Watson? No.
I have
Yeah,
not.
bro. I'm like, bro, please get with everyone.
And like the one scene after Emma Watson leaves was like the first time I've really cried to it, like ever cried to a movie properly.
Damn, I would pay
Like,
money to
I
see Nicola
was-
cry.
Sobbing because that shit was so sad. I
Wow.
don't really
You
want
left for
I really
college?
want to spoil it
Yeah, okay,
for
but
the other two.
I will say this about the twist of the movie. They do it really, really well. It's like they hint throughout the movie about the twist.
Yeah.
But when you feel it, it's like, oh, it's kind of brutal, but it's when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. When
I was like 50-50. I thought like my first instinct was like, oh yeah, that happened. But then I kind of second guessed myself. I'm like, is that actually what they're trying to go for? Because they don't say it explicitly.
yeah, but Beck, you know the twist, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he watched it. Yeah.
It came out a bit out of left field for me,
Not
but then
really,
I kind
I
of was
thought.
just like,
It
okay,
makes
yeah.
sense. I mean, because he's
I was
always,
like, did I miss something? But
No, but because
then
he
it kinda
talks
clicked.
about her earlier in the movie, and the book is also really good. Is a really good
Yeah.
written book, but
overall, I think it's just a really good movie. The part where I cried at was so good. That part was actually
I gotta rewatch
I
this
was
movie.
like genuinely I was sobbing. That shit was that shit was like really impactful for me. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't explain it.
Nicola had
It's
the
a
twist
really
with that
sad
to him.
movie.
No, it was more like before the twist, but yeah. So
I gotta rewatch this movie.
I don't know. It was really good.
Yeah,
I just want to say, I watched this on a plane,
and you cried.
and there's one scene that is like, the guy does the craziest fucking thing imaginable, and I jump
fucking-
in the middle
Yeah.
of my seat and go like this. And the people sitting next to me on the plane look so confused.
Wait,
Okay, was that
Because I'm like,
like
at the party?
The party.
Truth
It was
or
the
dare?
party. Yeah,
Yes,
so
I'm like-
I had to turn off the movie for 5 minutes for that.
So
scene.
did I. I paused.
I
I'm
got
like,
to that.
totally
and I was
forgot
like,
what happened. I do
Holy
not know.
shit! This
Um,
guy
like,
is
so-
fucking.
Like shove something up his ass.
You know what? I'm just gonna spoil it. Fuck it. I'm gonna
Hey,
spoil
this
it.
you want definitely if you want.
So
This is. I'll hear it out. I'll hear this out.
But this
okay.
movie does
Essentially-
have.
It's not bad to go spoiler.
And this movie
essentially-
does have Paul Rudd, so
I do know that, guys.
Joe.
I am going to commit to this fucking mission. Starting next year, I will watch every single movie that has Paul Rudd in it.
What happened to the Cartoon Network show?
Yeah, that I gave up on that almost immediately. This Paul Rudd one is better, I think, because I go from Clueless into Halloween 6, and I think that's way funnier.
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Now
Now,
explain
Nicola,
the scene.
explain the scene.
For some of the background, what you gotta know is that the main character really likes Emma Watson.
Of course,
Yeah,
he wants to.
yeah. Really
Yeah,
wants to really act like is like he's in love with her, but he is currently the significant other of the other girl in the group, and he said yes to being her boyfriend.
Her name is like
because
it's combination of two names. It's weird.
yeah, because she's like
Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's like a Hindu, not Hindu, but she's like
A
like
Buddhist goth.
Yeah, she's Buddhist goth, something like that. Like it's a really weird combination. Like
It's the same actor who plays the girl in Scott Pilgrim, like the
one
goth
of the,
girl.
there's like
in Scott
multiple
Pilgrim.
girls, but yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. So basically, he ended up with her because he didn't want to he felt bad and he didn't want to say no because he felt kind of bad because she confessed to him. and like he didn't want to say no because he didn't know how to say it, but then it was kind of eating away at him because he realized he didn't really like her. So they go to the truth or dare at a party. He is clearly drunk. They're all really drunk. They're going truth or dare, and the guy friend is like Ezra Miller is like truth or my funniest review for this film was the world needs more Ezra Miller. Edit. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
So basically he dares him. He says like truth or dare. He says truth, and he says, how's your current relationship going? And he basically says that. So I think if I can remember the exact line, it's something, I keep hoping that one of us dies from cancer so that I don't have to break up with them.
So does she die of cancer at the end of the movie?
She does not die of cancer. And then everybody and then they kind of laugh it off, and they're like, okay. Let's funny joke. Let's take it seriously. It's like, okay,
No,
fine.
that was in his head. That was in his head. And then he just...
I thought he actually did say that. And everybody just kind of laughed it off. Really? I could have sworn that like he actually said that and everybody kind of just laughed it off and they said, okay, seriously, what do you mean? And
okay, but then he says dare.
And then so then he says dare, and they're like, kiss the prettiest girl in this room, because we know if it was a guy, you'd kiss me.
And so he doesn't kiss his girlfriend?
He kisses Emma Watson.
Yeah, he doesn't kiss his girlfriend. He kisses Emma.
His girlfriend's friend in front of her.
Yes.
And then Edward's like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
That's a crazy ass thing to...
That is kind of crazy.
Jesus Christ. And then he loses all his friends until he beats up somebody.
And there's also another really funny scene where they're doing Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's Rocky, and Emma Watson is the girl, and they're doing like the sex scene where he's singing the song about like wanting to have sex with him, and he's standing there so awkwardly. It's so funny.
Yeah, Beck can relate to that.
Wait a minute.
What?
The other person is literally Amity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not Owl House reference.
Owl House. That's why Beck watched it.
Hold it back on the reference, but Aiden made it first.
No, because I looked up
What
like,
is this,
wait,
the
wait,
Bechdel
what?
test?
Yeah, this is literally the Bechdel test.
Anyway, I really liked the movie. I really vibed with it. It was really impactful for me. So
we're locking in Nicholas Ford. We're locking in Nicholas Ford.
No, we only lock in top three. The bottom two, the 4 and 5 can swap
Please
around.
add your favorites to Letterboxd.
No. I don't wanna.
Okay, so those are the two you watched, Nicola.
Yep.
Anybody else want anything before we get into the big ones? Anything anyone wants to add?
I got a Coraline.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how I said I wanted a Coraline guy? I got one.
Conan is hosting Oscars 97.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
cool.
So that's
I'm
pretty
glad we don't have the same guys like the last 3 years.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I did not like Jimmy Kimmel.
Does anybody really like Jimmy Kimmel anymore? Like,
Probably
he's
his
kind of
mom.
outdated.
Probably his mom.
Get John Mulaney. Just have him do it.
Dude, they offered. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was his choice, then yeah, I don't want to force him to.
Beck wants Mulaney to get back on drugs. He wants another Baby J.
Yeah.
Baby B? Can't wait for Beck's comedy special. Okay, let's get into the big topics. What should we start with?
Let's end
Memoir of a Snail.
Yeah, let's end with the one that we all three watched, minus Nick.
Yeah.
So me and Beck did see two movies. In between the movies, that's when we watched the Jake Paul fight because we had like.
So basically,
fully
earlier
cut out
this year, I go to so many movies, and randomly they'll just play a trailer for one indie film, and I'll only ever see that one trailer for it, and they'll never advertise it anywhere else.
True.
And that happened with Memoir of a Snail. It's the stop motion film, and then Aiden was like, "Hey, do you want to watch movies with me Friday?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "We're watching Memoir of a Snail." I'm like, hey, I watched a trailer for that. It looked kind of cool. Let's watch it.
So this movie is a memoir about the Wraith, and how her life fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Her mom dies, her dad dies, so then her and her twin brother get split apart, and then she just has a shitty life, and he has a shitty life, and she gets married to a shitty guy who likes fat people.
So he feeds her a ton of fat to like try to make her more fat. It's a weird ass movie.
And then her brother dies the day of her. And
yeah, no, because he was gay and he worked in a religious apple farm and they burned him alive in a church.
Yeah. And
makes sense, so,
then the old lady she was friends with dies, and she's a hoarder and a klepto. And things are just going poor for her. And it's a really strong movie with amazing animation.
Yeah. And it was really weird because I went into this movie thinking like, you know, this is going to be like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of like stop motion thing. And then you have a scene where two snails have sex with each other in a jar. So
it's a very, very mature.
We were very much jump scared by the R rating in this film.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be. There were lots of nipples. Just a whole lot of nipples.
Yeah.
The movie was also pretty funny, despite being the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's so sad.
It's a sad movie. But it's not a real memoir.
Wait. Shut up. This Uri. The main character is voiced by Shiv Roy in Succession.
Wow, that's gonna come back later. Yeah, that's cool.
But it's not a real memoir, like at all.
What do you mean?
It's called Memoir of a Snail. It's not a memoir. They use fake story and a memoir as a framing device.
Aiden,
misleading.
This is an actual complaint you have? Oh
yes.
my God.
You can't call it a memoir and then not have it be a memoir and then not be like, oh yeah, the main character likes to make stop motion films. Like the movie that you're watching.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. You can't be like, I showed my stop motion film to a film festival, just like the movie you're watching right now. You can't just do that.
Okay.
Like, legitimately, it not being a memoir and just being a fake made-up story, I think tarnishes the movie a little bit in my
That's what I don't get, Aiden, because I feel like I can connect more with like a fictional story than with like a true story, you know? I don't see it as like since it was based on a true story, it has more of an impact, you know?
I mean, that's true, but the fact that it plays it as a true story.
I never once thought this movie was a true story.
Yeah, Aiden, come on.
I don't think.
Come on, you're not an idiot,
so.
Aiden. Come on.
Aiden, I think you're just a loser.
There's some crazy shit that happened in this movie. I never once thought, hey, you know, this could have happened.
Name 3 crazy shit and I will explain all simply.
Nails having sex?
The Pinky losing the mailman to a crocodile in Florida.
That's super possible.
Or in Australia.
That's super possible.
And then what was the other death of her other husband?
I don't remember.
It was really funny. I forget.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
He fell onto a knife.
Oh, we did fall onto a knife.
That's also very possible. Those are both possible deaths. That happen all the time.
Name one guy who's ever died falling into a knife.
Falling onto knife. Death. District crime at a glance. Okay, wait, I don't think I want that one.
I don't think you want to look that up.
How realistic actually is it to die from falling on top of a knife from the East Enders Reddit subreddit.
Oh yeah, no, we love the EastEnders.
Depends on
Yeah.
someone I knew on the street as a teenager actually died the same way. I always put knives, blades down, each one hand. Knife injuries are always catastrophic. They look so tiny, but can do so much damage. Especially that big chef's knife. That's sure to do a lot of damage. He probably bled out without any help. All right, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yes, that's a very.
I think what I'm hearing is we need to watch EastEnders to prove this.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's a very plausible death, Beck.
Okay. But overall, good movie.
I
It
thought
has like a happy ending.
As happy as an ending as you can have.
Yeah.
Where her brother was alive the whole time. It does do good setup, I think. Like there's nothing that comes out of nowhere, I think. Because I mean,
Yeah.
in the scene when he's getting burned alive in the church, you can hear a window breaking. I don't know if you noticed that back when we were watching it.
I did not.
Yeah.
But you did point it out to me afterwards.
Yeah. I thought I pointed it out to you while it happened. I said, Beck, did you?
I did. I think you definitely must have said it, but I just did not hear it.
Yeah, because you were running on 0 hours of sleep.
Yeah, no,
Beck,
this
exactly.
is. I flew in. I woke up in Boston, and then I landed in California.
Please tell that story, Beck.
Okay, so I will. So I have a flight, and it boards at 8:50. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set my alarm for 7 a.m. And then wake up, pack some stuff, and get to the airport.
Wait, back. At 7 in the morning.
Yes.
Back. At 7?
Yeah?
At 7.
7.
You're supposed to do
7
this
a.m.
hours earlier.
No, it boards at 8:50 already. So I have an hour and 50 minutes to get to
You're
the airport.
supposed to be at the airport at 6.
Yeah, Beck, you should have been there at 7, Beck.
Okay, well, here's the good news. My alarm did not go off. So I wake up naturally at 8:30, check my watch, and realize, oh shit, my flight boards in 20 minutes.
How do you get there? So you,
This is when he told me this. I lost. I don't fucking know how he made this flight.
how did you get there? How?
So I grab all my stuff quickly. I call an Uber. My Uber guy comes. He gets there, I want to say around like 8:40. So I'm like, okay. And then it was mapping at like 15 minutes. So it's like, I'll get there at 8:55. I'll probably make the last boarding group. So we're going really good. And then my Uber driver makes a wrong turn and adds 5 more minutes to the timer. So I'm like in the back seat being like, ooh, cat, it's not looking good for me.
You didn't.
So I get out and the guy doesn't even drop me like at arrivals. He drops me in a random ass parking lot. So I just start sprinting into the terminal. I go through security. I realize I have an entire water bottle left of water in my thing. And I'm like, oh shit. And there's no place to dump it. So I immediately just begin chugging my entire water bottle. Right before a 6-hour flight, the person next to me on the flight loved me. So
Didn't even have an
and then
aisle
I
seat.
start
Holy shit.
sprinting through the airport. And I'm just like, okay, I can make it. I go, and they literally, as I'm running up to the gate, I hear over that intercom, last call, Beckett Leones. And I run to this, I'm like, I'm Beckett Leones, bitch. And then I scan my ticket.
This guy can vote, by the way.
How did you get through security that fast?
TSA pre-check, baby.
That doesn't mean you get through it fast. You still have
Kinda
like
does.
It was a random Friday at 11, or not 11, like 9.
Sure.
So
This sounds like a fucking movie.
my life will move.
it's like the beginning of Home Alone.
Beck, how
Yeah.
did you make this flight? How did you make
Let me
this?
tell you something. They just really wanted me to go watch A Real Pain with Aiden. They were like, we need to make sure this happens.
Beck, is your airport really close?
I'm Matthew. It's like 15 minutes away from my school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, guys, take my advice. You know, you can like go like 20 years before your boarding time. You'll still make it. I don't know if you want to kill up 2 hours before. It's great. Absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Absolutely nothing bad can ever happen.
Beckett Leon's last call. Beckett Leon's.
Leon's.
Yep.
Beckett.
So-
Why don't we just call Beck Lyons Beckett from now on? Because
Yeah, don't do that. Okay. Well, that was my plane story.
And so I'm assuming that you're in
Now
love
we
with
can
the
get into
person
the
next.
final film of the night.
Beck, I assume you fell in love with the person next to you.
I did not, sadly. Although they were watching a film I knew. I forget. They were watching Challengers, I think.
Boo!
And I was like, you know, I like tapped and I'm like, you know, that isn't really a good film. I don't think you should watch it. You know, if you scroll here, they have The Owl House, all of season 3. You can watch.
Fuck up.
okay.
They also have Horizon Chapter 1. It's like 3 hours. If you need to fall asleep, I very highly recommend it.
Beck, what did you watch on the plane?
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mm.
So the same person that I had to like keep getting out because I had to piss after drinking all that water had to watch me cry at The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I mean, yeah, and there's a reason you cry.
Beck, you sound like the most insufferable person to sit next to.
Yeah, to be fair, I barely get up for my intercontinental flights. Like I try.
No,
like a
mine
lot of
was
the times, I don't
intercontinental.
even
It was
go to
across the
bathroom. I
continent.
just
That's not what
raw
that
dog it.
means, Beck.
That's what it means, right?
Like when I go to Belgrade over the summer, I don't sleep. I don't use the bathroom. I raw dog that shit.
You do not raw dog the flight. I guarantee you. You watched all of Godzilla the last time you went to Belgrade.
That is true.
Okay, so we're ready
Okay.
to talk about the final film of the
Final
day.
film of the day.
No, I think
A
Beck gave it
Real
too
Pain.
low of a score, I think.
But I
Didn't
I
Aiden give it the same as me? Oh no, he gave it a half higher.
Oh, I did.
I think it deserved
Yeah.
at least.
And Aiden, what a very insensitive letterbox review. You should not have posted that.
You said, yeah, that would be funny. You should do that.
Let's see.
Wow.
What did he say? What did Aiden say? How much do you think it was to rent out the concentration camp to film there? Wow, Aiden, as a Jew, Aiden, as a Jew, I feel very offended by that. And I'm the only one who could talk about this movie, actually. So shut up.
Me and Aiden really like, okay, we'll just let Uri talk about this because we do not get
You
the
cannot
film.
talk about this movie. No, but it's a
Hey, I watched Between the Temples. I think I'm good enough to talk about film.
and I did watch Between the Temples, so
Exactly.
Oh, wow. I think Aiden's more qualified.
I've seen more Jewish movies than Uri
guys,
has.
it's like Between Temples is the same as having a bar mitzvah. So
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that was his bar mitzvah. It was sitting in a theater. Yeah, watching Between the Temples.
But the thing is about this movie, it's not really about, I don't think it's about the idea of pain, but it doesn't necessarily have to, it's a very easy thing to equate. It doesn't mean have to have like pain for like just the Holocaust. It could be like any sort of pain in the past, you know?
True.
It's a
They
very
do
kind
say
of, the thing is, it's about, I would say, when my sort of idea, so let's just describe what this movie is about. These two brothers who sort of had the cousins, right? These two cousins, played by Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg.
Why did he direct and write that whole scene where he was looking at his feet?
Yeah, that was weird.
Jesse's the new Quentin
Reminds me
Tarantino.
of- There was Monkey Man, where it's like like the main actor is also the director, and there's a scene where he takes the shirt off and a bunch of women swoon at him.
No, maybe he's the next Tarantino. I don't know.
Who knows?
But the thing is, they've had sort of a falling out, these two cousins, and they want to reconnect because their grandma recently died, and they're in a Holocaust tour in Poland. And so this movie is sort of about, at least for me, I would say the idea of how to live, how much should you let the world pain affect you is my sort of idea of what this movie is about. Sort of like, should we go on like knowing there's this much pain in the world? How much should we incorporate the pain in our lives? Is it healthy to do that? Or is it not healthy to do that? Should we just forget about the past or should we try to remember it? I thought this movie had a really good messaging about the idea of pain and sort of like how much we should keep with it.
Okay, I definitely had the wrong perspective going into this because from the trailers, I thought buddy cop trip across Europe with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin.
I also thought that's what
was not that.
I didn't. Not until the last trailer did they reveal, hey, this is a movie about pain
And suffering.
and suffering.
Yeah, no. I
Internal,
thought, like,
external,
when they got
historical, all sorts of pain, mental.
Yeah, I thought like when they were on the train for too long, it was like, oh my god, guys, we lost the train, and the groups left, and there's gonna be conflict between them. They're gonna have to hike across Europe and get into like fun comedy bits.
No, Beck.
It was no, they just got on another train back and nothing happened.
What I would say about this movie is that, you know, I guess you could see I knew what this movie was going to be about since I came into the movie. So I didn't have this expectation that you guys had. So I would say so I got acclimated to the movie much closer than I think you would have had because you guys had like sort of like to realize it. And so, so this is what this movie is now.
Yeah.
And so because I acclimated really fast to that. So I realized this is a movie, you could call this movie in a way sort of directionless and a bit boring. But I never thought it was like over boring, where I was always pretty interested by the characters and what they were saying. It's a very dialogue driven movie. So like this movie, it's the words that drive the movie along. No like big action. It's about like, it's more of a character study of like these two cousins and their relationship and their family and their relationship to the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say
I do want to
yeah. I was just gonna continue saying like how in a sense, the cousins, they have like somewhat of an arc, but they don't really have an arc. Nothing's really resolved by the end of the movie by that much. Maybe something with Benji. I want to talk about that later, but you guys, I want to see what you thought about this movie, really.
I personally think Kieran Culkin, that was an Oscar-worthy performance. It felt like every moment, it felt like the slightest thing and he would collapse. Like you could feel like, even when he wasn't collapsing, his tone and the way he acted, it was like, this man is like barely holding it together.
It was,
and I thought it was amazing.
He was amazing in this movie. Jesse Eisenberg was like good, but he was the breakout star.
Dude,
in this movie.
yeah, no. He deserves the Oscar.
I really only think that Jesse Eisenberg's like standout scene.
Yeah, and the table where he
it.
talks about talks about him, you know?
If I had a nickel for every time I watched a Jewish movie where shit goes down at I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
But so I just want to bring out this one moment in the movie where so this movie is kind of just like for me a bunch of vignettes at a bunch of different locations, really. Yeah, it's small stories in different locations around Poland, and all sort of tying this big thing. But there's no big arc around the story, which is I think it's kind of nice in a way because it feels very real. I was talking about naturalism last episode, and this is a very sort of naturalistic movie in a way. And what did you think about this movie?
I thought it was good. I don't know. I thought it was a very like emotional movie. Yeah. I like how it just got way more serious as it went on, but like tried to stay lighthearted at the same time. Like as if you were on the tour at the same time, right?
Yeah. It felt like I was part of the tour, you know?
Yeah.
And I really like that. I really like
By the time they get to the concentration camp, they stop the music and nobody's talking.
That's really
And-
amazing. That was
like
an
5
amazing
minutes.
scene. That was an amazing scene. Just like, and then when you go back on the train, you kind of pan and then you just see fucking Kieran Culkin like crying, like his eyes out, and like he like can't handle the pain. And so it brings back to the idea is how much pain should we accept into our lives, really? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I just don't really understand the ending a little bit. Like,
That's something I want to kind of.
Because the text is on the right side this time. instead of the
I
left.
like that because it kind of evolved from that. Like it's the same
No,
scene,
yeah, that was-
but now we get like a new context for the scene.
yeah.
Which so we realize how he came to. Is he like homeless and he's going to live at the airport? Is kind of what I thought.
Well, that's what I thought as well, because he at the
You cut out. Sorry, Eden.
he's like at the I thought the same thing, because at the beginning of the movie he's like, yeah, I've been here for hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, does he just he's homeless and he lives at the airport, but he doesn't want to like push his boundaries and make his cousin drift away that he just kind of reconciled with.
Yeah.
I don't really get the ending.
I'm gonna. I don't think if that's necessary. It could be that could be an assumption someone could make. I think this movie is really a lot open to interpretation for a lot of this movie. Where it's all like, I think it's more him. He's in a new spot. You know, in the movie, in the beginning, we saw it was like a kind of a shaken man in the beginning of the movie. But here, it's the same scene, but we got the context of maybe he can start from a better place, knowing this pain, reconciling with his cousin, maybe.
Well, here's what Wikipedia says. Wikipedia says Benji sits at the airport deep in thought, reflecting on his next path in life with a new perspective, looking content.
Okay, so yeah, exactly just what I said. Yeah.
Exactly.
I wrote it. I wrote that Wikipedia article.
Oh, wow.
But no, I thought it was just like a really kind of brilliant movie. It shows like just like how good Kieran Culkin can act. Like, you know, he was amazing in Succession, but you never got to see more of a like lighter side, kinder side to Kieran Culkin, really.
Yeah.
Because all of Kieran Culkin's characters, he plays them well, but they all kind of have this like same kind of one character trait where they're a bit nasty, you know?
Yeah.
Not always a bit mean.
Aiden turned to me and was like, wow, I fucking hate this guy. I'm like, you've never seen Succession. This is him a lot more chill than he is in
He's so
Succession.
nice in this movie. Dude, Aiden,
so
in
nice
Succession, he like
compared to Succession.
he tells a child, hey, if you make this home run, I'll give you $1 million. And then the kid doesn't do it, he rips up the bill in front of him.
Damn.
Yeah.
The $1 billion bill.
Do you not have one of those? I have at least.
And so it's like, I thought it was like, the thing about Benji, he's like a very complicated character in this movie, you know? Like I think a line that really captured him well is like, he lights up everyone in the room and then he takes a shit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a,
Because he's like so nice to everyone, and then he just it's like, fuck you, you're terrible.
and so it's sort of like, it sort of kind of feels like when he is nice, it feels a bit forced, but it's only because you see that he's kind of hiding a mask of severe depression.
Yeah.
And you see how like that character, he has so much demons he's hurtling with, or it's all like he feels so much pain, and sort of like I really like this concept of this movie is like, you know, in sort of the movie they say earlier, the grandma says, you know, there's generations like, you know, in the first generation they'll like work like menial jobs, for the second generation will do like great jobs like doctor, and the third generation will just sit in their home eating like potato chips in their basement. And
And then he was talking about him, and I'm like,
yeah,
that sucks.
It sort of feels like this sort of generational thing where it's all like it's all this greatness sort of just kind of falling down, and that's sort of like he also is probably, that's why he's so in so much pain, because he feels like he kind of failed like his grandma in a way, you know?
Yeah.
And also it's like it's sort of you know, his grandma, like she survived the Holocaust, a terrible thing, and he decides to just try to kill himself. It's sort of the idea of what this pain is. And I thought it was like a really fantastic movie in that regard. And like I could say the only problem is like it feels a bit directionless at times, but I feel like I've acclimated to these types of movies by now. It's like, oh, I can appreciate what this journey is, you know?
Yeah, for me, I kind of just felt like I didn't know, like, what changed. Like, it didn't feel like anything really changed. It felt like it just
And I think
started
that's-
in the airport, it ended at the airport.
And I think that's kind of the
Not a lot
point of the
happened.
movie, though.
Yeah.
So, like, can you change really? I don't know. With this pain, can you fix the pain? But I don't know.
I'm kind of mad that they never said a real pain once in the movie. They say different types of pain so often, but they don't say a real pain ever. Also, let's pause for a moment because what the fuck is this comment?
Context. Just send a post in general. I'll put it right now.
Let's give the full context before we post this.
I'll put it on screen.
In the first comment starts in our Smile 2's amazing cinematography short. This gentleman or gentlewoman or gentle they left us a comment that said bullying must be a part of you guys every day. Oh, sorry, bullying must be part of you guys' day every day. And that's a really incoherent and quite mean comment. So I decided to get them back by saying, your mom must be a part of our day every day.
Oh, and we got him. And then I said,
he's so cooked. He's so cooked.
Obviously, the most stupid comment. Like, it's literally your mom joke. And this guy...
Oh, he got pissed.
Oh, he got mad. What did he say to me? Aiden Shoemaker, I feel sad for you. Your life will always be bad cause you have autism and you don't get the world. Probably crying a lot home.
Oh, no. I'm probably crying a lot home.
I'm definitely crying a lot home.
Oh.
This is so fucking funny.
Holy shit, dude. Who is this fucking guy?
Aiden, you have autism
random
and your
guys.
dad, and he feels sorry for you, and you probably don't get the world because
You're probably crying a lot home.
yeah. It's not a lot; it's a lot. You know, like
Guys,
one
I'm
word.
gonna approve the comment so it can go on YouTube.
Yeah, you could approve the comment.
Holy shit, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
He hates you,
Dude,
dude.
Just
yeah.
really does not like you.
This sucks. Wow.
We get some really funny comments sometimes.
Guys, in my Trump short, I got people wanting to vote for me. You know,
Yeah, no, dude, Uri. I mean, you as my Secretary of State, Aiden, my VP, I feel like we could do some good shit.
All right, the comment still doesn't show up on YouTube. That's so sad.
Yeah.
but
What the fuck, dude?
but this, what's the rec, guys?
The rec, I want to recommend
The
the
perks
Owl
of being a
House.
wallflower.
Yeah.
I want to
The perks of being
recommend.
a wallflower.
Oh wait, no. Actually, I'll recommend the Blues Brothers. It's like an SNL skit that was a full movie, and it's really good.
Beck, you have seen the Blues Brothers?
I have.
Did you watch? So I also did notice on Letterboxd your list that you made. Did
Oh yeah, no, it's growing.
see Beck's list that he made?
No, I have not.
No, you
Explain it to me.
didn't see his
It's
list.
amazing because it's blue filmed. It's filmed to have the word blue in the title that I've seen.
Yeah.
So we got Perfect Blue. We got the
Perfect
Blues
Cell.
Brothers. We got Blue Eye Samurai, and we got Blue is the warmest color.
Beck, I feel sorry
Is
for
blue
you.
in fact the warmest color?
Beck, I looked at blue at Letterboxd. There's so many movies called Blue. You're fucked.
I know it's gonna be a long time, but I plan on doing
Beck,
it.
are you got Blue Beetle?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, the ones, one of my friends gave me some recommendations. The Blue Angel, Blue
Angels
Velvet.
like the aircraft.
No, it came out in 1930 and it's a German film.
Of course.
So that one is not going to be fun. And the other
That one's gonna be so fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
is a David Lynch movie called Blue Velvet.
I'm seeing a lot of blue
So-
movies. They're kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
And I literally just made that list because do you guys know what the Palme d'Or is?
oh yeah,
Palme d'Or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Palme d'Or.
No, not
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, what do the French people think are the best movies of the year? And I'm randomly, and I'm like, okay, Anora won. And so I'm like, what other films have won? And then I randomly see one that's called Blue is the Warmest Color. And I'm like, this one's calling me. It's about blue.
it's about lesbians.
It's about a lesbian. It's a 3-hour French film about lesbians.
Wait, that one's from this year?
No,
No, that's from 2013.
Oh, thank God.
And it won I have no idea how this won the Palme d'Or. It's pretty boring. It's just 3 hours of them talking and then they have a random 20-minute sex scene and then more of them talking. It's,
Well, like,
I don't know. It's a weird ass movie.
how good was the sex scene?
It was
Arian
my
needs to know if he
first
can watch this or not.
NC-17 movie, so.
Guys, we need Beck to do.
You know how E2 Mama Tambien was about gay man on man sex? This is about the female on female sex.
Beck, we need Beck review sex scenes.
Nope, not happening.
My favorite one is from The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Got it.
Well, this has been Celsius 102. See you next week. for
this has been
103.
Celsius 102.
Remember, always use Celsius.
Are we sure it's going to be 103 next episode?
Why?
'Cause I feel like we could be switching it up.
fuck?
It might be 102.5.
Well, it's not a two-parter, though. We have done two.
We have done two parts.
We used to do two-parters.
remember when episode 11.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was so long. It was an hour and a half. It
was
we had to
not
break
even
it
an
up
hour and a half.
into two.
It was an hour.
Guys, imagine watching without a 2 parts an hour long podcast episode.
I'm actually
What if-
so fucking
What
pissed.
if we split this one into one?
We're split it.
Anyway,
In the last 5 minutes, this specific.
Yeah. Guys, welcome to episode 102.5.
102.5.
We will be doing the secret Santa rolls. It's the scheduling specific episode.
we just schedule for the next hour. It's
Yes.
We're on the Patreon.
Anyway, always use Celsius. Thanks for listening. Don't kill yourself. A real pain. Ally.